Northern California, the late 1960s, an era of peace, love, and revolution. But beneath the surface of the summer of love, a dark shadow was lengthening. A shadow that would haunt the San Francisco Bay Area for decades. It didn't just kill, it taunted. It didn't just hide, it sought the spotlight. It gave itself a name that would become synonymous with unsolved mystery. The Zodiac. 5 confirmed dead, 2 survivors, and a claim of 37 victims. For over 50 years, the crosshair symbol has stood as a chilling reminder of a killer who was never caught, a code that took half a century to break, and a legacy of fear that remains as potent today as it was in 1969. This is the definitive timeline of the Zodiac Killer. The horror began on a cold Friday night, December 20th, 1968. High school students David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen were on their first official date. They parked at a lover's lane on Lake Herman Road, a quiet gravel turnout on the edge of Benicia. Around 11 p.m., a car pulled up alongside them. The assailant didn't hesitate. He fired into the car, forcing the couple out. As they scrambled to escape, the gunman shot David in the head at point-blank range. Betty Lou tried to run, but she was cut down by 5 shots to the back. There were no witnesses, no robbery, and no apparent motive. It was a senseless, brutal execution. At the time, police thought it was a one-off act by a madman. They had no idea it was the opening act of a campaign of terror. 7 months later, on July 4th, 1969, the killer struck again. Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau were parked at Blue Rock Springs Park in Vallejo, just 2 miles from the first crime scene. A car pulled behind them, then left, only to return minutes later. A man stepped out, shining a blinding flashlight into their vehicle. Before they could speak, he opened fire with a 9mm Luger. Michael was hit in the jaw, shoulder, and leg. Darlene was struck multiple times. As the killer walked back to his car, he heard Michael groan. He calmly returned and fired 2 more shots into each victim. Darlene died on arrival at the hospital, but miraculously, Michael survived. 40 minutes later, a payphone rang at the Vallejo Police Department. A voice, described as low and monotonous, claimed responsibility for the shooting and for the murders at Lake Herman Road. The Zodiac had officially announced himself. On July 31st, 1969, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Examiner, and the Vallejo Times-Herald each received a nearly identical letter. They began with a chilling confession. I am the killer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas. Enclosed in each was 1/3 of a 408-symbol cipher. The killer demanded they be printed on the front page, threatening to cruise around all weekend, killing lone people in the night if they refused. He claimed the cipher would reveal his identity. It didn't. When a high school teacher and his wife cracked the code a week later, it revealed a disturbing manifesto. I like killing people because it is so much fun. Man is the most dangerous animal of all to kill. He signed his next letter with a symbol that would become legendary. A circle with a cross through it. The crosshairs of the Zodiac. The attacks moved from the dark of night to the light of day on September 27th, 1969. College students Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were relaxing on the shores of Lake Berryessa, when a man appeared from behind a tree. He was wearing an elaborate hand-sewn black hood with the Zodiac symbol stitched in white on the chest. He held a gun and claimed to be an escaped convict. After tying them up with plastic clothesline, he didn't rob them. He drew a large knife. He stabbed Brian 6 times and Cecilia 10. Before leaving, he walked to Brian's car and used a felt-tip pen to write a message on the door. The dates of his previous attacks, the time, and the words, "by knife." Cecilia died 2 days later, but Brian survived to provide a terrifying description of the hooded figure. 2 weeks later, the Zodiac entered the heart of San Francisco. On October 11th, he hailed a cab driven by 29-year-old Paul Stein. At the corner of Washington and Cherry Streets, in the upscale Presidio Heights neighborhood, the passenger shot Stein in the back of the head. Witnesses saw the man wiping down the cab before walking away. Due to a tragic police radio error describing the suspect as a black man, 2 officers actually passed a white man matching the killer's description, but let him go. The Zodiac later taunted them in a letter, saying they stumbled on me and that he had hidden in the park. To prove his identity, he enclosed a blood-stained piece of Paul Stein's shirt. This would be the last confirmed murder, but the letters were far from over. In November 1969, the Zodiac sent his most difficult challenge, the Z340 cipher. It would remain unsolved for 51 years, until a team of international codebreakers finally cracked it in 2020. The message? I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber. During the early 70s, the threats escalated. He claimed he would blow up a school bus, pick off the kiddies as they come bouncing out. He claimed victims in Riverside, Modesto, and Lake Tahoe. He demanded that people wear Zodiac buttons and grew angry when they didn't. By 1974, his final confirmed letter claimed a tally of 37 victims. Then, as abruptly as he had appeared, the Zodiac went silent. Decades of investigation have yielded thousands of suspects, but only one was ever officially named: Arthur Lee Allen. A former teacher and convicted sex offender, Allen owned a Zodiac brand watch, used the same typewriter as the killer, and reportedly told a friend he wanted to kill people and call himself the Zodiac. However, DNA and fingerprints never matched. Allen died in 1992, taking his secrets to the grave. Today, the case remains open. Modern technology, from familial DNA to advanced cryptanalysis, continues to probe the shadows. But the man in the crosshairs remains a ghost. Was he a lone wolf, a criminal mastermind, or a lucky sociopath? We may never know. But in the quiet turnouts of Lake Herman Road and the foggy streets of San Francisco, the name Zodiac still whispers a warning. Some secrets are never meant to be found. What do you think? Was it Arthur Lee Allen? Or is the killer still out there? Let us know in the comments. Stay curious.